Hello out there. And one more time, how are you all? This is Fumi Akingbade. I'm sure all of you will like, what's going on? Why is she on and off? Actually, I'm trying to package something beautiful so that we all have a nice time. And I know, I'm so sure that continuity is a rule of the game and consistency matters a lot. So, by the special grace of God, we have started and we are continuing. So, welcome to Time Out with Fumi Akingbade. But now, under this series, we're going to be talking about pillow talk. Talks you render only during bedtime. Pillow Talk Show with Fumi Akingbade. And I still remain your one and only bedroom instructor, Fumi Akingbade. And on this show, by the special grace of God, we'll do as much as possible on daily basis. But at least in a week, you're sure to get a lot of pillow talk tips. And most especially, we are going to base most of our tips and our discussion on past questions and answers that has been sent to Fumi Akingbade on the column Sex and Sexuality with Fumi Akingbade. So I want you to roll on with me. Now, there is a question here, and I want us to hear it, and we'll discuss about it, and I will give you the tips I know. This question is from one of our numerous mothers and wives. She said, "Hi, Fumi. As much as my husband and I love to have good sex and we love to have sex, how can we handle the peculiar prevailing obstacles we are both experiencing?" One of the obstacles is one, they are always both tired. Secondly, they have kids who are light sleepers. Thirdly, they are not happy. The lady particularly is not happy with her weight. Then, fourthly, I'm stressed out over deadline pressure at work. In short, there is no time. So the summary of it is there is no time. There are deadlines from work, children who are under teenagehood and who are light sleepers. Both are tired from work, and what do? So, hear what I said. First and foremost, I said there are many reasons why couples find themselves reaching for the pillow or the remote control instead of their spouse body after the sun goes down. But a healthy sex life is obviously a key part of an intimate relationship, and neglecting it can push the two of you apart and further apart. Sex is so important. That's basic. We all know that. Sex is so important to the overall health of a relationship. Now, to prioritize what is important to the two of you is very important. Sex is important in relationship. I know there are cases and there are issues where but if you prioritize sex in a relationship, there's always a way you will create a room for it. Now, first of all, you have to rediscover each other without much pressure. There must be a rediscovering here. Make out for space and time where you can escape and get recreated together, even if that time is in your house or your car or in your backyard, or when you guys just go out on a eat out. You have to rediscover yourself. Create time for yourself. The point in the point here is that I know work is good. I know kids are excellent, but all these things are part of the packages. And if you rediscover yourself, you will put everything inside the relationship. And when you give sex its own power, its own space, sex is not the ultimate, so to say, but the place of sex cannot be all undermined. It can't be undermined. Plan a quick, for instance, plan a quick trip to any nearby eat out for lunch together for afternoon break. I know some of us might be walking way far apart from one another. Even a phone call, you can just like then must you must create something. Plan a quick breakout. Make sure the venue is not too far from your offices. Let it become an habit. And if it is far from your office, you can always compromise or reshovel things together. But what I'm trying to say here is that there must be a way both of you will create space for reconnection. You need to reconnect. You need to reconnect. Reconnect. And this one help when you reconnect. You see the vibe coming back again. You see the romance coming back again. And once you are connected, sex is always easy. The quickie encounter is easy, non-quickie encounter is easy, or for long foreplay is easy, non-long foreplay is easy. The issue is that you find a practical way to always, at all time, spice up your sex life. You can always try different places, different posture, different timing, a lot of things. And also watch out for your libidos. In most cases, libidos differ. Libidos differs, and people with different libidos match each other. Most of the time, high libido go for a low libido girl, high libido girl go for a low libido man. But what I'm trying to say here is that there is always a time for anything. And what you don't prioritize is really what you don't give time to. Give time. Look for what you will make you both, the make you both connect. There's a need for reconnection. There is a need for reconnection. There is a need for reconnection. I need us to know that. Then there's another question here. It said, for me, lately, I'm not in the mood for sex. And to cap it all, sex hurts. And my husband is not just cooperative at all. So for some time now, I've suffered in silence, giving in for sex just to keep the marriage bed spicy and just to say not to allow my husband to go out. It's not a bad idea, but this method is short-lived. It's just as if you keep on pushing a horse, You keep on pushing a horse, keep pushing an horse. At a time, the horse will turn back and fire up. So you giving in for sex when you're not in the mood, when it's painful, and when you don't know how to communicate it to your husband can be dangerous. So for many wives, not finding out the way to handle it could be a problem. Now, let me ask most of our wives out there: Have you ever discovered your sexual triggers? Women are sexual triggers, men are sexual triggers, wives have sexual triggers, husband has sexual triggers. If you're not interested in sex, have you sat down to ask yourself this question? What is my sexual triggers? What are my sexual triggers? And if you discover your sexual triggers, it's easy for you to relate it to your husband. He will definitely understand. The issue is that because we are different, men will always want sex, and women may or may not. But if you discover your sexual triggers, it will help you. Find your sexual trigger, number one. Then sometimes it's not that you're not in the mood. It's that your body isn't cooperating because sex is actually painful. She said, I'm not in the mood and sex is painful. But sometimes it's not because you're not in the mood, it's because the primary reason is the sex itself is painful, and because it's painful, it pisses you off, and because it's pisses you off, our body has a way of adjusting to the thought of our mind. If you feel like, oh, I want to eat, I'm hungry, your body will start telling you, sending things that I need food, I need food. But if you say, if you like, I'm not going to eat now, I'm not going to eat now, I'm not just going to eat now, do you know that your body will cooperate? But because you've been in pain, your body cooperate with the fact that your thought is more on the pain than the pleasure. So it's not the issue of, oh, I'm not in the mood. It's majorly the issue of I'm in pain. I'm painfully being actively active in sex. And of course, you can never mix pain with pleasure. This can be a big issue for wives, especially the ones approaching the menopause. Now, it's been said before that menopause is like 40 years upward or 50. No, nowadays, menopause is not that per se the age. Menopause is like the average timing between your onset of menstrual cycle, when you start having menstrual cycle. If it's way too early, you get into menopause also way too early than any others. Then sometimes some of the women that have cesarean section, your first pregnancy cesarean section, your second pregnancy the cesarean section, your third, or probably there's a tubal ligation operation as a form of family planning, you enter menopause faster, way far, more than those who have been who were normal. So sometimes it could be an issue of you're suddenly entering your menopause unawares. Besides, it may be a sign of another health issue. It may be a behavioral issue. Sometimes when there's a paradigm shift, when men get into their 40s, there's this mid-years crisis. Some women also subtly experience mid-year crisis, and it's more of a behavioral issue. You feel depressed, you're not just happy, you're comparing yourself with a lot of other women, and this and that, and this and that. And before you know it, it's just like, what's all about it? So it could be an issue. I want us to look deep. If you look deep, you'll be able to help yourself. In fact, not also getting enough sleep can always hamper the libido of a woman, because you need this sleep. You need this sleep so that your body will produce enough estrogen, and it will help you. And when there's a low estrogen production, of course, the vaginal wall gets dry, and there's a problem here and there, just like that. So I need us to watch also that. Now, when you have dry vagina, I tell women, I tell most wives, it's true to go for all those lubricants. They are very good. But the best lubricant that has no side effects, that is always on time, with the best of warmth, best of warmth it will provide, best of everything, is the saliva of your husband. So if you don't allow him to go down low with you, it's going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue. So I need us to know that you need to get yourself lubricated, and please be a friend to water. Be a friend to water. Drink water a lot. Drink water a lot. Drink water a lot. Some women will say, like, the way during sex, the way I feel the pain is as if you're using a sandpaper to remove some dirt on my body. The pain, and you know why? There are a lot of cracks going on, because the wall of the vagina is just too dry. And if it's dry, anything that is dry easily breaks. So the rugae, is rugae or rugae of the vagina, instead of it stretching out in monstruously, it's just, it go cranky, and it cracks, and of course there's no estrogen, there's no progesterone, and the whole thing is not just helpful. So drink a lot of water. a lot of water. And even if you are the one that don't like water, a lot of fruit, especially cucumber, cucumber is 90% water. Uh, it will help you. Then also, I want us to know that a dwindling libido may not just be a sign of aging, but no matter what the reason for your diminished desire will be, getting back on track with your husband sexually is going to take effort, some effort. Sex take work, and you have to focus on it, just like everything in your relationship. There isn't a magic pill, but I want you to like talk to your mind. The mindset. Talk to your mind. And when you talk to your mind, you realize that things are not just as difficult as it sounds. I need us to know this. And also, I also want us to know that most of the time, I want us to know that most of the time, um, calling your husband and talking to your husband, brooding over issue over and again can actually help all of us. And I'm going to go for today. Today is a beautiful day. And I want to say something to your marriages. Your marriage will not fail. Your marriage will not fall. Until tomorrow, when I come again, I still remain your one and only Fumi Akingbade, the bedroom instructor. Now, I want us to know that we are having a series of Pillow Talk show, and this is the media version of the series. So join me again tomorrow for another Pillow Talk show. Until then, keep having the best sex life. Bye.